Chapter 1. The Substitute Wedding. The wedding hall glittered in white and gold, but the air felt strangely hollow, like everyone was holding their breath. Because the bride wasn't the bride. Aiden Hale walked in wearing the soft ivory wedding clothes meant for his twin sister, Arya. The embroidery hugged his broader shoulders awkwardly, the veil tucked into his hair pinned in place by the trembling hands of the stylists. The room fell silent. Whispers rippled like fire. "Isn't that the brother? Where's the bride? What kind of joke is this?" Aiden ignored all of it. He held his head high, eyes cold, jaw tight. He wasn't doing this for attention or dramatic effect. He was doing it to save his family from absolute humiliation. Across the hall, Lucian Valter, the Enigma groom, stood tall in his black suit, hands folded behind his back, face unreadable. His silver eyes lifted the moment Aiden stepped onto the aisle. For a heartbeat, there was nothing. No shock, no anger, no protest. Just a calm, terrifying emptiness. As if he didn't care who stood beside him. As if the world could swap his bride with a tree and he'd still sign the papers. Aiden almost snorted. Typical Lucian Valter, Mr. Heartless workaholic in human form. Arya's disappearance. Hours earlier, chaos had exploded in the Hale household. Arya had run away from her wedding. By the time the truth came out, the wedding venue was decorated, reporters were outside, and the Valter name was on every banner. The Hales panicked. The Valters were a powerful Enigma family. Rejecting them at the altar meant war. Aiden's mother had fallen at his feet, trembling and crying. "Aiden, please. Please save us. If the Valters cancel this wedding, we're finished." Aiden wasn't soft-hearted, but he wasn't heartless either. And Arya had always been reckless. Someone had to clean up after her. So he stepped in. Not for Lucian, not for love. For responsibility. For his family's reputation. And maybe a little because he wanted to slap Arya for being so stupid. The wedding. The moment Aiden reached Lucian's side, the officiant looked like he wanted to faint. "This is, the twin—" Lucian's voice was cold and sharp. "Proceed." Just like that. No question, no refusal, no emotion. Aiden muttered under his breath. "Wow, I feel so special." Lucian's eye twitched, but his gaze stayed forward. When asked if he agreed to the marriage, Lucian responded in the same tone he used in boardrooms. "I do." As if it were just another contract. Aiden narrowed his eyes and said his vows aggressively, like he was challenging someone to a fight. Lucian didn't even blink. Aiden hated him immediately. Lucian felt mildly entertained. Married chaos months 1 to 8, their newlywed life was not a honeymoon. It was war. Banter, fights, sarcasm, door slamming, pillow throwing, every single day. Aiden quickly realized Lucian wasn't just any Enigma, he was a younger, richer, colder, workaholic demon with zero social skills. And somehow Aiden was expected to live with him. Day 3. Aiden threw a pillow at Lucian's head. Lucian caught it without looking up from his laptop. Aiden barked, "If you wanted to marry your computer, you should have sent that down the aisle." Lucian calmly typed, "My computer is less rude." Day 20. Aiden and Lucian argued over who got the study room. Both slammed doors. Both ended up working in the same room anyway. Day 45. Aiden shoved Lucian out of the kitchen. Lucian glared and said, "You are emotionally unstable." Aiden shouted back, "Says the one who puts work under romantic interests." Day 67. They fought over laundry. Lucian wanted everything arranged by color. Aiden wanted nothing to do with it. Day 98. They bickered every morning while brushing their teeth, until Aiden accidentally spit toothpaste foam on Lucian's face, and Lucian actually laughed. Aiden nearly died on the spot. Slow change. Somewhere between the fighting and insults, things shifted. Lucian started coming home earlier. At first, Aiden didn't notice. But suddenly, Lucian was appearing during dinner, then breakfast, then movie time, then laundry time, even though they fought every time. Aiden wasn't an idiot. Lucian was trying. He didn't know why, but he still tried. And Aiden, despite being sarcastic and emotionally guarded, softened, sleeping together, accidentally. It began one night when Aiden fell asleep on the sofa after a long day. He woke up in bed. Lucian's arms were around him. Aiden froze. Lucian, half asleep, murmured something like, "Warm." Aiden didn't move. He should have pushed him away. He didn't. He liked this. He felt safe. Enigma pheromones wrapped around him like warmth. He'd never admit it out loud, but Lucian's scent, cool, fresh, grounding, silenced the world. From that night on, they always ended up in the same bed. Domestic chaos becomes domestic comfort. The fights didn't stop, but they changed. Less venom, more teasing. Less, "I hate you." More, "You're annoying, but I guess I tolerate you." Lucian began touching Aiden casually, hand on waist when passing behind him, brushing their shoulders together, guiding him through doors. Aiden started making Lucian coffee. Lucian started forcing Aiden to eat breakfast. Aiden began waiting for him at night. Lucian began working less. They were still idiots. But now they were idiots falling in love. Silently. The bracelet. 1.5 years into marriage, Lucian came home early and unusually nervous. Aiden. Aiden looked up from the couch. "Why do you look like you murdered someone?" Lucian ignored the comment and handed him a small velvet box. Inside was a diamond bracelet, delicate, expensive, shining like moonlight. Aiden blinked. "You got me a real gift?" Lucian frowned. "You don't like it?" "I didn't say that." Aiden touched it gently. "But why this expensive thing?" Lucian held his gaze for a long moment. Then, very softly, "Because you're mine." Aiden's heart skipped. He swallowed, suddenly shy, but rolled his eyes to hide it. "Fine, but this better not be one of those tacky CEO gestures." Lucian almost smiled. He fastened the bracelet on Aiden's wrist himself, completely hiding the fact that inside the diamond clasp sat a tiny, discreet tracker. Because Aiden was his. And Lucian Walter had no intention of ever letting him go. Chapter 2. The Storm, Sister Returns. Lucian Walter's office was peaceful that morning, quiet, cold, and perfectly organized. He was reviewing contracts when the door slammed open so hard the walls shook. Arya Hale walked in, hair wild, eyes furious. "Lucian," she snapped, "why did you marry Aiden? Why didn't you wait for me?" Lucian slowly lifted his eyes. Calm, cold, deadly. But beneath that calm, his silver eyes bled into red. Enigma anger. "Arya," he said softly, "you barge into my office and demand answers for a wedding you ran away from?" Arya scoffed, stepping closer. "You knew I wasn't ready. You should have waited. If you really loved me..." Lucian's eyes narrowed. "I should wait for someone who abandoned her own wedding without a single word?" She shot back, "But I'm back now." He tilted his head. "And I'm married now. To my twin brother," she screamed. "How could you..." Lucian's voice cut like a blade. "You left me standing alone at an altar, Arya." She froze. His eyes glowed brighter. "And yet you have the audacity to question my choices." Arya grabbed his arm, her voice softening with dramatic fake hurt. "Lucian, I'm here now. We can fix this. We were meant to be..." Lucian's jaw clenched. "Remove your hand." She tightened the grip instead. Aiden arrives and breaks. Aiden hurried down the hallway, breathless. His twin's message had come 5 minutes ago. "Aiden, I'm back. Going to Lucian. Be prepared." She messaged him because Arya always feared Lucian's cold temper, and she wanted Aiden to soften him if things went wrong. Aiden just wanted to warn his husband. He didn't want a scene. He didn't want drama. He just wanted his quiet domestic life with Lucian to stay intact. But when he stepped into the office doorway, he saw Arya gripping Lucian's arm, and Lucian facing her, expression unreadable. Aiden didn't notice the red blazing in Lucian's eyes. Didn't notice the fury in his posture. didn't hear that he was in the middle of rejecting her. All he saw was the man he loved, standing with the woman he once loved. Aiden's throat closed. His chest tightened painfully. He still loves her. Before anyone noticed he had arrived, Aiden quietly stepped back, turned, and walked away. No one heard the sound of his heart breaking. The divorce decision. Aiden drove home in silence. His hands shook the whole way. By the time he reached the mansion, he had made up his mind. Lucian deserved his first love. Lucian deserved happiness, even if that happiness wasn't Aiden. Within 10 minutes, the Hale butler rushed to him. "Young master, are you all right?" "Call my personal advocate," Aiden said, voice flat. "Have him bring divorce papers, urgently." The butler froze. "Divorce? Sir, but do it." His advocate arrived swiftly, confused but obedient. "Aiden, this is sudden." "Just prepare the papers," Aiden whispered. "I don't want to trap someone who loves my sister." With a shaking hand, he signed the divorce papers. Then he wrote a small note, placing it neatly beside Lucian's pillow. "You deserve the one you loved. Now that my twin came back to you, I hope you'll be happier without me." He packed only essentials: one suitcase, a few clothes, and the diamond bracelet. He wore it because it was precious, the only gift Lucian gave him on their first anniversary. He didn't know the bracelet could track him. He didn't know Lucian had put a tracker in everything Aiden owned. Because Lucian loved him to obsession. Lucian's return and the collapse. Lucian came home late. He was silent, angry, confused why Aiden had come to the office but hadn't met him. Then, why Aiden didn't pick up any calls. When he walked into their bedroom, he froze. The house was silent. Too silent. No lights. No humming from the kitchen where Aiden always forgot to turn things off. No scent of Aiden's shampoo. The mansion felt like a tomb. "Aiden," Lucian called, voice echoing. No answer. He searched the bedroom, the study, the kitchen, the garden. Nothing. Then he walked into the living room. And the world shattered. The divorce papers lay on the table. Signed. His heart dropped. Then he saw the note. Lucian picked it up, hands trembling violently. As he read the words, his pupils snapped into full Enigma feral mode, glowing blood red. His pheromones exploded outwards. The entire mansion shook, furniture rattled, glass cracked. Guards outside dropped to their knees, choking. Lucian was seconds away from losing control. "Aiden," he whispered, "you misunderstood everything." Lucian summons everyone. He called his entire security force, his best trackers, his family, the Hale family. "Find him," Lucian roared, voice shaking with fury. "If something happens to him, if he is hurt, Arya will not see another sunrise." His aura was deadly. Each breath he took made the walls vibrate. Arya enters and dies inside. Arya suddenly rushed into the mansion, fake tears streaming. "What happened? Is Aiden gone? Good?" Lucian turned to her slowly. Everyone stepped back. His pheromones rolled like a storm. "Say that again," he whispered. Arya gulped. "Lucian, I'm back now. We can fix everything. Why do you care if Aiden left?" She didn't finish. In a blur, Lucian's hand wrapped around her neck and lifted her off the ground. Arya gasped, feet kicking. His pheromones slammed into her, choking her lungs. Her eyes bulged with horror. "Lucian?" her mother screamed. "Stop!" his father shouted. But Lucian didn't even hear them. "You dare show your face here?" he snarled. "You dare talk about Aiden? You dare try to take what's mine?" Arya clawed at his wrist. How did you know?" Lucian's lips curled. "Know what? That you ran away with another alpha?" His voice dropped to a growl. "That he sent you back today so you could marry me and steal my fortune for him?" Arya's eyes widened in terror. No one knew this. No one. Not even her parents. How did you? "I investigated," Lucian spat. "The day you ran away from the wedding, I knew everything. You cheated. You lied. You used me." He leaned closer, eyes glowing bright crimson. And I only dated you because your parents begged me to give you a chance. Arya froze. Her parents covered their mouths in humiliation. Lucian's voice turned murderous. If anything happens to Aiden because of you. He tightened his grip. I will kill you with my bare hands. Arya sobbed as he dropped her onto the floor. Realization and departure. The room fell silent except for Arya's terrified breathing. Then Lucian's eyes snapped open wider. The bracelet! He realized he hadn't seen it while searching the house, which meant Aiden took it. Lucian grabbed his tablet, opened his private tracking system, and the bracelet signal blinked. Active. Location: another country. Lucian's heart slammed against his chest. Get the jet ready, he growled. His father yelled, Lucian, where are you going? Lucian didn't look back. To bring home my husband. And the doors slammed shut behind him as he vanished into the night. Chapter 3. Feral Love. Aiden sighed. Rain tapped softly against the windows of Evan's penthouse, but inside, Aiden curled on the couch with puffy eyes and trembling fingers. Evan pushed a warm mug toward him. Here, drink, hydrate. Because depression looks ugly on you. Aiden sniffled. I'm not depressed. You're crying into my sofa. Over your husband. Who, by the way, is... Evan clicked his tongue. A stone-hearted CEO with the emotional sensitivity of a dead cactus. Aiden glared through tears. Evan, yes, I know. Don't insult him. But guess what? He let your sister grab his arm. I will absolutely insult him. Aiden pressed his palms to his eyes, voice cracking. He still loves her, I saw it. Maybe I was only a substitute after all. Evan opened his mouth to roast Lucian again, but something made him freeze. A pressure, a shift in the air, a shiver crawling up his spine. Aiden, Evan whispered. Do you feel that? A terrifying, overwhelming wave of power filled the penthouse corridor. Cold, sharp, feral. Enigma pheromones. A very angry Enigma's pheromones. Before Aiden could answer, bang. The front door burst open. Lucian arrives. Lucian Valter stood there like a storm given human form. Hair messy, tie missing, shirt wrinkled, breathing ragged, like he'd been running for days. His eyes glowed a dangerous crimson. Aiden rose on shaking legs. Lucian. The sound of his name snapped something inside Lucian. He crossed the room in seconds, grabbed Aiden, and pulled him into a crushing hug, so tight Aiden could barely breathe. Aiden! Lucian buried his face in his neck, inhaling desperately. Where else would I be? You're my mate. Aiden's knees buckled. Evan silently backed away, mouthing, I'm not dying today. Aiden swallowed. Why? Why are you here? Shouldn't you be with Arya? Lucian stiffened. He pulled back just enough to cup Aiden's face, his glowing eyes full of fury, but not at Aiden. At what point, Lucian said quietly, dangerously, did you decide I'd choose anyone over you? Aiden looked away. I saw her holding you. She looked like she belonged there. Lucian's jaw clenched, a muscle ticking. You didn't stay long enough to see me remove her hand. Lucian explains everything. He guided Aiden to the couch, refusing to let go of his hand. Lucian explained everything Arya barging in, her manipulation, her betrayal, her past cheating, the alpha she ran away with, the plan to use him for money. Aiden's lips parted in shock. She used you? Lucian brushed a tear from his cheek with his thumb. I never loved her. I tolerated her because your parents begged me. Aiden's breath hitched. Lucian continued softly. The only person I married for was you. Aiden blinked, stunned. Then, possessive moment. Aiden's eyes widened suddenly. Wait, how did you even find me here so fast? Lucian froze for exactly half a second. Then, his expression smoothed into calm confidence. I'm your husband, he said simply. There is no place you can go where I won't find you. Evan snorted loudly. Translation. He tracks you. Aiden whipped his head toward Lucian. You track me? Lucian didn't even flinch. His face remained calm, unreadable. I know your habits, Lucian replied smoothly. Your favorite safe places, your comfort people. I came here because this is where you run when you're hurting. Not a single mention of the bracelet. Not a hint of the trackers he secretly placed in all of Aiden's devices. Aiden stared at him, cheeks red. So you know me that well? Lucian lifted Aiden's chin. Of course I do. Evan threw a hand over his face. Congratulations, babe. Your husband is a certified stalker. Lucian shot him a warning look. And you're a very fortunate friend that my husband cares about you. Evan immediately shut up. Aiden breaks down. Aiden's voice trembled. Lucian, I thought you went back to her. I thought I was just a substitute. You were never a substitute, Lucian growled, pulling him into his chest again. You were the only part of that wedding I actually wanted. Aiden's tears finally burst free. He hugged Lucian back, weakly at first, then desperately, burying his face in Lucian's neck. Lucian's arms tightened, almost lifting him off the ground. Come home, Lucian whispered. Let me take you home. Aiden nodded. Lucian didn't let him walk. He simply picked him up, bridal style, and refused to put him down. Evan followed them to the door, rolling his eyes but smiling. Take care of him, Walter, or I swear I will switch your shampoo with glue. Lucian actually paused, then bowed his head slightly. Thank you for taking care of my husband. Evan blinked. Holy shit, respect? From you? Okay, wow. Return. Lucian carried Aiden all the way to the jet, refusing to loosen his hold for even a second. Back home, the mansion lit up instantly. Guards scrambling, staff bowing. Everyone relieved their young master was back. And Arya was dragged to the gates and thrown out without ceremony. Lucian didn't even look at her when he ordered, ban her from stepping foot in this country again. Arya screamed, cried, begged, but he only held Aiden tighter. Lucian carried Aiden inside, kissing his forehead softly, possessively. You're home, he murmured, and no one will ever take you from me. Aiden finally let himself relax in his husband's arms. He was safe. He was loved. He was claimed. Chapter 4. Domestic Chaos. Confessions. The mansion had returned to life. Warm lights, bustling staff, and the subtle, comforting scent of Lucian's pheromones drifting everywhere like a protective blanket. Aiden pretended he didn't like it. Lucian pretended he didn't notice his pretending. They were both terrible liars. Morning domestic chaos. Aiden, wrapped like a cocoon in the blanket, refused to move. Lucian stood over him with a deadpan expression. Aiden, I need the blanket. No, Aiden mumbled, tightening his grip. It's mine. Lucian sighed, pinching the bridge of his nose. It was our blanket. Aiden peeked out. You're rich. Buy another. Lucian stared at him for 3 long seconds, then yanked the blanket so hard Aiden rolled off the bed. Aiden sat up, hair fluffy, eyes glassy with sleep. You, overgrown, working refrigerator. Lucian blinked. Working refrigerator? Yes, cold, tall, always humming about work. Lucian's lips twitched. Refrigerators don't bite. Aiden stuck out his tongue. Lucian leaned down, voice low and dangerous. Oh, I will bite, especially when someone pushes my jealousy. Aiden instantly fell silent. The effect was predictable. Lucian smirked. Midday banter, jealousy issues. Aiden was in his office reviewing files when someone knocked. Come in, he called. Lucian walked in with a lunchbox. Aiden blinked. Lucian, did you just cook? No, Lucian replied. But I supervised. Aiden laughed. You supervised someone boiling pasta? It required precision. Aiden rolled his eyes but opened the container. The intern passing by peeked in the door only, to immediately retreat when Lucian growled low like a territorial wolf. Lucian, Aiden hissed. He just looked inside the office. He looked at you first. He said hi. And I didn't like the way he said it. Aiden massaged his temples. You need therapy. Lucian slid his arms around his waist, murmuring, I only need you. Aiden's cheeks flamed. Night chaos. That evening, they argued again over something ridiculous. You used my skincare, Aiden accused. Lucian crossed his arms. You weren't using it. You don't get to decide. Lucian tugged him forward. Aiden stumbled and landed onto Lucian's lap. Let me go, Aiden muttered weakly. Never happening, Lucian replied calmly. Aiden's heart was beating too fast. Lucian's hands were warm on his waist. The argument died instantly. They stared at each other, their breaths mixing, their bodies too close to ignore. Aiden whispered, almost scared of his own voice. Lucian. Lucian brushed a thumb along his jaw. Aiden swallowed hard. I love you. Silence. Lucian froze, then exhaled shakily, as if he'd been holding that breath for years. His voice broke slightly. Aiden, I've loved you for so long it physically hurts. Aiden's lashes trembled. Lucian. Lucian pulled him closer until their foreheads touched. You are the first person I wake up for, the last person I want to see every night. The reason I breathe easier. Say it again. I love you, Aiden whispered. Lucian kissed him. Not softly, desperately, possessively, like someone who thought he had lost him and still couldn't believe he got him back. The bond consummation. The moment the kiss deepened, Lucian's pheromones flared, liquid heat, thick and intoxicating. Aiden gasped as the Enigma side of Lucian surfaced, overwhelming but gentle. Lucian's voice was deeper, rougher. Aiden, tell me to stop. Aiden cupped his face. Don't you dare stop. That was all Lucian needed. He carried Aiden to bed, mouth never leaving his skin. Enigma heat rolled off him in waves, intense, possessive, obsessive, yet every touch was reverent, every kiss a confession. Aiden clung to him, breathless, whispering his name like a promise. Lucian marked him gently, worshipping every inch of him, repeating over and over, You are mine, my mate, my heart, my life. Aiden trembled beneath him, not in fear, but in love. Their bond finally sealed, raw, powerful, permanent. Aftermath, soft chaos. Returns. Later, as Aiden lay panting against Lucian's chest, he muttered, You bite too much. Lucian smirked. You tasted sweet. Aiden swatted him weakly. Shut up. Lucian kissed his forehead. I love you too. Aiden blinked in surprise. You didn't say it earlier. I was busy proving it. Aiden turned red. Lucian's arms tightened around him. No more running away, he murmured. No more misunderstandings. Just us. Aiden burrowed into him. Just us. And for once, everything felt right. Chapter 5. You're mine forever. 2 months passed since their bond was consummated. Aiden had been glowing. Lucian had been unbearably protective. But today Aiden felt awful. The pregnancy reveal. Aiden groaned and leaned against the bathroom sink. His stomach churned. Not again. Lucian burst into the bathroom like the mansion was on fire. Aiden, are you dying? Who hurt you? Are you hurt? Is something wrong? Should I kill someone? Lucian, Aiden sighed. I just feel nauseous. Lucian froze, then panicked. Within 20 minutes, their bedroom resembled a miniature hospital. 12 doctors, 5 nurses, 2 nutritionists, 1 terrified husband. Aiden stared at the chaos. Lucian, this is unnecessary. It absolutely is necessary, Lucian declared, wrapping a blanket around Aiden like he was an endangered species. You threw up. That means something is wrong. The main doctor cleared his throat with a smile. Actually, Mr. Walter, nothing is wrong. He's pregnant. Silence. Aiden blinked. Lucian did not. Lucian stood frozen like someone unplugged him from reality. Aiden whispered, So, I'm going to be a dad? Lucian finally moved, stepping forward, cupping Aiden's face gently, kneeling in front of him like he'd received a divine gift. No. His voice shook. We're going to be parents, both of us. He rested his forehead against Aiden's stomach. And I will protect the 2 of you with my life. Aiden's eyes softened. His fingers threaded through Lucian's hair. The doctors awkwardly cleared their throats. Lucian growled. They all fled. Family chaos begins. The moment the families were told, Aiden's mother burst into tears. Lucian's father actually smiled, which shocked everyone. Their mothers hugged Aiden, crying into his shoulder. Lucian stood in front of him, arms crossed, glaring at everyone like they were threats to his pregnant spouse. Evan barged in with a cake shaped like a baby bottle. Well, 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 he smirked. Congrats on getting knocked up by CEO Possessive Pants. Aiden slapped his arm. Lucian growled. Evan held up his hands. Relax, big guy. I wasn't the one who impregnated him. You were. Lucian stopped growling. Aiden covered his face. I hate both of you. Evan hugged him anyway. Territorial Enigma. Husband mode. Lucian's protectiveness increased to terrifying levels. He shadowed Aiden everywhere. Aiden stood up from the couch. Lucian yanked him back down. You could slip. Aiden reached for a book. Lucian grabbed it first. It's heavy. It's 200 grams. That's heavy. He forbade Aiden from carrying anything heavier than a pillow. He even checked chairs before Aiden sat on them. Lucian also developed a habit of growling at doctors. Aiden. Lucian, he's my OB-GYN. Lucian. He touched your wrist for too long. That was for my pulse. I don't care. The doctor nearly resigned. Nighttime routine. Every night, Lucian slept with his head on Aiden's growing belly. Completely content. Completely obsessed. Sometimes Aiden would wake up to Lucian whispering, Hi, baby. It's Daddy. Kick again if you love me more than Papa. Aiden kicked him out of the bed for that. Lucian deserved it. Aiden's pregnancy journey. The months passed with chaos and sweetness. Aiden's cravings were out of control. Lucian, I want strawberries dipped in melted chocolate and sprinkled with salt. Lucian, done. Lucian, I want pancakes at 3 a.m. Lucian, already making them. Lucian, I want you. Lucian froze. Aiden smirked. Lucian blushed. Their bond deepened. Lucian's obsession softened into devotion, yet still dark, still possessive, still entirely Aiden's. The birth scene. When Aiden went into labor, Lucian nearly fainted. The doctors shoved him into a chair. But the moment he heard the baby cry, Lucian's entire world melted. A tiny boy. Dark hair. Aiden's eyes. Aiden reached out weakly. Lucian immediately placed their son into his arms. Aiden cried softly. He's perfect. Lucian kissed Aiden's forehead. Just like you. Their son curled tiny fingers around Lucian's thumb. Lucian nearly burst into tears. He whispered, You're both my whole world. Aiden smiled sleepily. Lucian. Lucian hugged them both, trembling from joy. Forever claimed. Aiden lay in bed holding their newborn, as Lucian sat beside them protectively. Aiden turned to him. Lucian, be honest. Are you still tracking me? Lucian froze then smiled gently, brushing a kiss on Aiden's cheek. Of course, he whispered into his ear. You're my home. I'll never lose you again. The tone was soft, tender, loving. But beneath it, the obsession lived quietly. Aiden didn't sense it. Lucian made sure he wouldn't. Aiden leaned in and kissed him. Lucian kissed him back, careful not to wake the baby between them. Their son made a tiny noise, then fell asleep again. Aiden smiled. Lucian wrapped his arms around both of them. A family, a bond, a future, and chaos forever.